All right, let's rock and roll. You know it's a worldwide thing. I'm coming from T-Dot. We got the ghost in Puerto Rico and the king of the county, James Craig. Man, welcome to Studio E.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Hell yeah. So you know how it is. We start every show off the same. Hit us with your favorite skate moment and your favorite sports moment.
Favorite skate moment? I don't have a lot. I'll just say one specifically, like actual like skating trick was a kickflip back Bunt I did off this like 3-stair ledge. It was in my Wheels of Fortune, I believe. But so we skated this spot like all day, and it was like Gideon Choi was there, Ortiz, Dave Slashback was the dude who filmed it. He used to film for Plan B. I had done it on ledges, I think, like before, but like not maybe only a few times, and everyone else got their tricks. Like this is literally like there's a photo that Gideon had on the back cover of a 411 for his profiles. He did that day. There was like 20 people there, and I was trying for hours for this kickflip back Bunt, and it was like Ortiz wasn't even shooting anymore. He was like, he stopped shooting photos. Like I was like the only one skating, and it was like getting towards kind of the end of the day, and then kickflip back Bunt to fakie, and like it was like,
damn.
It was kind of one of those blackout moments, but like whenever I watch it back, it's like I remember the feeling of riding away like so satisfied. So like I'd say that's probably one of my favorite skate moments.
That's
beast, man. Man's like us could only dream of a flip back nose blunt.
Yes, you ain't lying. And sports moment?
Sports moment. I mean, obviously it's going to be Lakers.
Yeah, we know where you're going.
Probably it's got to be the Ori 3 against the Kings. It's just like it's another one that like gives me goosebumps. Whereas just like I remember exactly where I was. I was with the owner of Liberty Board Shop. We were all at his house. We were like, I had become a fan in like 95, 96, 7-ish. And then it was, Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, that whole era. And then like seeing, Shaq come, and then seeing the emergence of Kobe. And then obviously, it was like they had a great team, but like, man, that game, like we had to have that shot. And fucking old Vlade, who incidentally is the reason that we had Kobe. We traded Vlade for.
Yeah.
And
short-sighted.
Yep. Tips it out. And like, we were just freaking out. And like, I remember when the shot goes in and we all lose our shot. Like, we're jumping up and down, like screaming at each other. Like, it's got to be my favorite sports moment. I mean, I have a bunch of them. Like,
for sure.
I was lucky enough to be at the game with Rothmeyer, Tyrell Romero, and Ortiz when LeBron broke Kareem's scoring title.
That was a fluke too. He told me that he like tried to guess before the season, like when he might break it, and got those tickets, which is incredible.
Well, it was pretty coordinated because Rothmeyer and Ortiz got like, I think back-to-back games, maybe like a couple days apart. And then I asked my father-in-law he has like a client who owns like really good seats, which is like 6th row, section 101. It's like,
damn.
It's center court.
That's
it's
nice.
like butters. Yeah. It's like some of the best seats you can get. But, so I got the next game after that. So it's like we had like 3 games in a week. So it's like we were lucky for sure, but we averaged it out, and we knew it would kind of be.
I know, but like injuries, and he's old. You never know how many games he's gonna miss. Like it's still pretty fucking sick that you guys nailed that.
For sure. And, but like when I saw the when I saw like the pregame stuff, like just him walking in, he had the all black suit. He was like, he was gonna do it. But it was kind of
extra, man.
Dude, it was seriously Men in Black. Like he was coming for business. But
God.
But it was kind of weird because like the game kind of like was frustrating because every time he grabbed the ball, everyone's cameras out. Like it was like it wasn't like a real normal basketball game. It was just like waiting for him to break the record. So, but we were there. It was awesome. So,
and I know you're Lakers diehard, but let's not forget the Thunder smacked y'all that game. Shout out Shea Gilgeous, Canada, baby.
And we lost. No, hey, let me tell you something. Canada respect. First pick in my fantasy draft this year. SG.
Shea, I got him with the third pick, baby. I'm back in the playoff mix, but let's not get distracted. But we're losing listeners every second.
The sports talk is gonna come. I mean, sorry. Yeah, listeners.
There's nothing we can do about it. But how did you feel about the Lakers celebrating and raising a banner for the in-season tournament, man? It was a little bit cringy, dude.
I'll say this.
For such a storied franchise, too. It's like, dude.
I will say this. I think the NBA kind of made them make it a big deal. Like, especially if like, they will. Like, I think if like they won or like the Celtics won, they're like, hey, we get it. You probably don't want this banner up, but you got to do something.
Yeah.
That makes
like
sense.
That's really what
sense. Okay. I like that point.
That's what I think it was because they're trying to make the NBA is trying to make this like important, and the Lakers.
It was cool. Yeah, I thought it was dope.
I mean, it's better than the All-Star game.
Anything's better than the All-Star game. The Bunt Jam is better than the All-Star game. Man.
By 1,000%.
Real shit. Well, let's get back to skating for a sec here. King of the county, my dog. Take us back to the beginning. Where did you grow up and how'd you get into skating?
I grew up basically kind of in like a very small area. So it was like I grew up in like La Habra and Fullerton, and I never really lived in Brea, but Liberty Board Shop was there. That's where like I did a lot of skating. But I grew up in La Habra, California, basically, some in Anaheim. And then when I started skating, it was, just my oldest brother skated a bit, like back in the 80s. And then late 80s, me and my brother just randomly got boards from a friend who was like skated around a little bit, didn't really know tricks or anything like that. And then, we just were kneeboarding down the street, and they both were like pushing, and I got like, it's like a secondhand board, and I got a board that just had like the trucks were fucked, and like it was like the bushings were fucked, and it would just like turn, and I was like, I can't stand up and ride this thing. So I had to like ride on my knees down the street. It was on Palm Street and almost La Habra Boulevard in La Habra. And like from that point, it was like, I got to learn how to like stand up and ride this thing. And then after stand up and ride this thing, it would just slowly progressed. And, we had like a couple locals pros in the area. There's this dude, Peter Ortiz, who I always like, he was like the first like pro we met, but he was like never really pro, but he was this dude from like this Mexican dude from like the hood, and like incredibly talented, but just like the style was kind of crazy, but like he was like South La Habra where we were, and then North La Habra was like Jeremy or Jonas Ray. So it was like those were like the like rich kids, and then we were down with like the hood guys.
Hell yeah.
For sure. So what would you consider your first big break in the skate industry? What got the ball rolling for you?
Man, I was lucky, to be honest with you. Growing up like in that area, especially like with Jeremy and Jonas, and then like having Fullerton so close, it's like such an iconic spot, and like so many pros were already around there. So I was like exposed to it pretty early. and then like having other friends that were like sponsored and that had opportunities. So it was like probably Ronnie Krieger was like Krager. I don't know what he calls himself these days. It's almost changing. Trust me, it's a thing. But like growing up in Fullerton, like at Fullerton High School, it's like there was like everyone went there to skate. It was like a central, pretty localized place. So I'd say my first break was just being able to skate those spots with those guys and seeing that pros were real. It's easier for us. I mean, obviously I get it. Like, I mean, being from Canada and from different places, it's a lot harder to like see that that's tangible. And for me, I got to see it pretty much every day. So it was, I'd say that was my first big break. And then what really like propelled me to be able to be a professional skateboarder was basically just going out with Gideon Choi. Like when he got on Blind, it was like one of those things where it was like, I had other sponsors like Grind King and Society, which was like a super small company that we all rode for, which Gideon did a graphic for. It's a good little history note there. But yeah, I think like if I would say like for my professional career, like my first big break was being able to like go to Dwindle or World at the time, like go to the World Park, go there and just be an annoying kid and like try to like make somebody see me. Yeah. And, you know, since I was there so much with Gideon, they were eventually just like, all right, well, I guess we'll give this kid a shot.
Hell yeah.
That's epic.
Gideon, OG switch tray boss. Salute.
Oh, the best. The best. The one at Rancho that Sock filmed, like he didn't even know Sock was filming him. And he does that line. I think it's like switch crook, switch back tail, and then switch tray on flat right before he goes behind the lockers. It's like arguably one of the best switch trays of all time. And I know, safe.
So growing up skating with your brothers, the competition with them was probably always there. Tell us the story of your first contest, man.
My oldest brother is 7 years older than me, and he kind of didn't really skate, but my other brother, Jeremy, is like a year and a half older than me. So we were the ones who got into it, like when we really gotten into it. And obviously, like, he was better than me pretty early on. Like, it was just naturally talented. He's kind of naturally talented at whatever he does. He's just one of those dudes. But so he was like my first understanding of like competition. And of course, it's your older brother, like, dude, like beats me up and like bullies me. And so of course, I want to beat him, you know?
Yeah, you got it.
So like, he's a year and a half older than me. And the way that the Castle work, like California Amateur Skateboard League, they have like divisions. So it's like 12 and under is novice. And then if you're over 12, it's like 1A is like intermediate or whatever. And that's for like, 13 and up. And then there's 2A and 3A. And then there's like sponsored and factory, which is like sponsored would be like shop sponsored. And the factory was like board sponsor. And the first contest we ever entered was in San Diego. And they accidentally put him in novice with me. And I won the contest and he got like third. And he was like wearing this like there's photos somewhere of it, but he was wearing like this purple like silk or satin shirt or something. Like just, I mean, this is like probably 92, 91. And it was just like, but like there's photos of him. He's so pissed and I'm like so happy. Like I need
that photo, man.
I don't think we have it. I don't know where it's at. A lot of our memories of our past are never to be found again. But
yeah, he got a hold of that one.
Yeah, but yeah, it was that was like the one time where I was like, okay, I got him. And then as we kept skating, my little brother syndrome kicked in, and I was just like, I have to be better than him. And then I just kept going with it. And then he was always really good at filming, so he kind of became the filmer. And then like I would film him. Like if you can probably YouTube the society video, but like he filmed most of it. He edited it. He did like all of our graphics and logos and stuff like that. And he was always really good at that. And I was the one who had to film him. I was like so bad. My hand would like come in the screen when I'm like pushing and shit. He would get, and then he would get pissed at me. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, man. I was like 13 or something.
Oh, that's epic.
But yeah, that was, and we've always been very competitive within our family. So it's like, that was like the one time where I got that one on him forever. Everything else, it's like,
yeah, that one's
but
not
then you
up
went
for
on to have a
debate.
pro career.
Yep. But he's like a video game developer and makes a shitload of money. So
He's
he
doing
kind
all
of
right.
won. He won that one.
So when people think about you, you know, big time affiliation with Blind over the years, you're on forever. But how did that journey first begin, man? How'd you get on Blind?
Well, so like I was saying, like being around Gideon and those dudes and Ronnie, and you know, I was pretty lucky. Blind is my favorite company of all time. Guy is my goat. Like that's like when I saw Video Days, him, Jay Lee, Gons, like that was my shit, right? And then Tim and Henry's, like to me, it was just like the best company. So when Gideon ended up getting on, like the way he got on was like, he didn't think he was going to be able to get sponsored. He got some boards from Change, which was a San Diego company. But me and my brother, and maybe one other person, I forget, but we got a bunch of copies of his Sponsor Me tape, and we sent it to every company, like probably like 10 companies. And so randomly, he gets a call from Rodney. Gideon does. And that's basically like how he kind of got on. And there was this funny like situation where like him and Clyde Singleton got invited to go skate with all these dudes in San Diego. There's like a 3-stair with a chain. It's at that school called Sarah, where like it's like the cylinder blocks, like Kyle Labor, back nose blunt, 270 shove, back nose blunt. Yeah. Right. So at that same school is like this, it's like a 3-stair, and then there's like a chain that goes around it. Mm-hmm. And Gideon ended up going skating with those dudes there. And like people were like yelling like tryouts, because neither of the dudes were on a world company yet. Mm-hmm. And it was he felt kind of weird about it, but like he ended up getting on Blind. And then from there, it was like Ronnie was obviously already on, because at one point it was just Ronnie and LeVar, and then Gideon got on and Josh Casper. So that was like the 4, right? And then next, Robbie McKinley got on, and Robbie and myself and my brother were all on Society together, and we've known Robbie forever from like the Chafee days. And I wanted to be on Blind super bad. And I know this question is coming, so we'll leave the question, but yes, the question that you asked is correct, and he'll deny it, but so I eventually, like, I'm getting boards. They want to do something with me, and they start paying me, but like they just didn't know where to put me. They didn't have like a home for me. So I was talking to Oblo. Mark Oblo was like super cool and was like, this was like right when Prime was about to end, like before everyone quit. They're like, dude, we're just going to put you on Prime, and then, you know, you'll be good. And then like everyone quits, and like I'm getting paid technically on Prime, but like everyone quits, and then the company slowly or shortly after that, like just gets dusted. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then so I'm kind of floating around, and it's like Shaolin was like going to become a thing, and like maybe I could get on World. And then finally, I think Ronnie was just like, why don't we put him on Blind? And it's because he said no originally. because Gideon was advocating for me super hard, and I think Robbie was too, but I think I was probably just an annoying kid, and Ronnie was just like, yeah, he bugs me. Like he denies this. I talk to him about it all the time. Like, yeah. It's like,
but that's probably what it was. Someone just asked him what he thought, and he's like, he bugs me, and then boom, it gets taken out of context, and now the rumor starts that Ronnie Krieger or Krager doesn't want you on Blind, man. It's gotta hurt.
Well, yeah, and he's my he's my friend. Like we hung out all the time.
Yeah.
Like this wasn't just like. And Gideon was the one who told me that. It was like, man. Ronnie said no. And I was just like, all right, whatever. It's
That's
fine.
devastating. I think that happens like
and we're like
more than you think in skating, man.
For sure. I think it's like and Gideon you always used to say like, he's like scared of you. I'm like, yeah, right. It's fucking Krieger. Like the dude's like one of the most talented skateboarders of all time. Like, why would he be
scared like skill wise? Like threatened.
Yeah.
But threatened by the king. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not even close. It's like it's ridiculous. It's nonsense. But eventually that's kind of how it worked out. Like so Robbie got on right before me and then I got on. And then that little iteration of Blind was like to me like one of the dopest because it was like post all of the legends, but like that crew that we had, maybe besides Casper. Sorry,
new
Josh.
legends.
No offense.
Why you had to do him like that?
I mean, I would tell him to his face. It's fine. But it was just like
he may have just done that. Hopefully, if he's watching.
He was just a very strange dude.
In
but
his
like,
own world.
But like me, Ronnie, Gideon, Robbie, like we all got along super good. I think we understood like what it meant to be on Blind, and we wanted to put respect again. You know, like that was like we all knew what it meant, and we were like, that's what we wanted to do. So, but things change. Weiss takes over.
Casper just had no idea.
Casper was in his own world, man. The dude is.
That's right where we wanted him. You know.
Yeah.
Wait, you said. Sorry, I cut you off. You said things change, and you're saying things change for the worse.
I wouldn't say for the worse. It just changed because it was like we would in that era we never had like a team manager or a brand manager. It was always like Rodney was our team manager, and then we kind of all just did stuff, and like that's when the Reaper started to come in. So there was no like real brand direction, and at that time, like this is 97 to probably early 2000s. Boards were selling like crazy. Like we didn't really have to have like a brand manager or a team manager, someone driving a creative marketing purpose. Yeah. It just boards were selling like fucking crazy.
Dude, it was the Reaper, man. The Reaper was the brand manager and the creative director. The Reaper was on every kid's binder, locker, everywhere, man.
I agree. And to be honest with you, pretty quick after, like the first couple ones were like, it's cool. But then when that became the whole identity of the company, we were all like, hey, this ain't it. They weren't having it. They're looking at their sales and they're fucking selling the shit out of it.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of how things changed because it's like World became Wet Willie and Flameboy. Blind became the Reaper. Like you're identifying these iconic brands with like a character.
Yeah.
But like if you look at the origins of those brands was like the characters were like the team and the graphics were like wild as fuck. Like I mean the Javante board, like you just look back at like the way that graphics were done in the early 90s was so different when it came to like late 90s, early 2000s, because boards were selling so much and these companies were making so much money. They're like, yeah, keep doing that.
Yeah. Push what works.
I think it can kind of compromise the integrity of like, if there's not someone actually focused on what it's going to be, then, or what it should be, maybe, then I think it can kind of like take a turn for the worse where it's just like, okay, we're just going to be a graphic oriented company as opposed to like creating a team and a vibe and like what Girl did. Like I think Girl did a really good job of like taking something that like was relatively ambiguous. Like when we heard the name Girl, it was like, so like what? But then they created a team and a vibe that really it changed the way you looked at what just the name of the company was. Like they brought an identity to it.
Yeah, they smashed that. So Gideon brought him up, absolute legend. He named his son after you. What's the story there, man? It's a high honor.
He didn't name his son. He didn't name his son after me. It's his middle name.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously Gideon's like a super good friend of mine, and we grew up together. And he was like basically the dude who taught me everything about life, other than just like skateboarding. Like he had a car. Like he would like tell me, "Fucking don't stare down the fucking cholo." Like, what are you doing? Like, he helped me with all the shit I didn't understand as like a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And Gideon doesn't have a middle name. It's not like wasn't a thing in his family, like as Koreans. Like his parents are very like traditional Korean. So it's just Gideon Choi, no middle name, nothing. And my middle name is Clifford. And he thought that was like the most funny thing. So like that became my nickname for the longest time. Like he would call me Cliff. And for the longest time, I'd call him Cliff because he didn't have a middle name. And I'm like, well, your middle name's Cliff now. Like you're part of the Cliff squad. And then when he had his kid, he was like, his middle name's Clifford. And I was
no way.
Like, it was like the wildest thing. So it's just like
awesome.
one of those things where it's like, because it was like our nickname for each other for probably a decade or so. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then like that was kind of just, I think because he didn't have a middle name, so it wasn't like that big of a deal to him.
Yeah.
And then his wife also knew like how close we were, that she was like, all right, we can name him Clifford. Middle name.
That's awesome.
That's epic.
That's why I'm on Slap. If you go on Slap, I'm Cliff. That's me.
Oh, okay. Keep an eye out.
So, Bill Weiss, the man behind Blind, absolute legend. Give us a top 3 Weiss moments off the top of your head.
So many. I love Weiss, and I hate him. But no, he's like the most wild dude ever. Like, top 3 Weiss moments. Oh man, there's so many. I'm just gonna go 3, like something that most people won't see, but people who worked at the office would. Weiss doing a sales meeting pitch is like the wildest shit you've ever seen. It's like a used car salesman, like just trying to make you believe a Yugo is a fucking Bentley. It's amazing. And he believes it. Like that's the thing. That's what's so good about Bill is like, he'll make you believe that turd is a piece of gold. Like it's just one of those, he does that.
Yeah.
That's why Bond and Steve loved him too. Like they loved it about him. Another one, I mean, obviously, I know we're going to talk about it, but I had never seen the Naked 540, but I'd seen him do them. But the one at Tampa was like just one of those ones where he's like robbing big and like, we'll talk. Like, I know there's a question coming about the towel, but like the way I know Bill's so good that I knew like probably 2 or 3 hours before that this was going to be like one of my most entertaining days because I got to see his whole like OCD buildup. He has like a robe on. He's starting to smash beers. His wife at the time was there. Like it was just like, and I know her. She's like super nice. And she was just like, oh, well, yeah, this is what he does. But like I'd never seen one before. So like, and that, when he did that, so it's like it's super nervous the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
He pumped like probably 12 or 14 times. Like none of air before he did it. After like the 5th or 6th pump, I'm like, is he going to try? Like, you got to do a backside air before you do a 540 pump. Just kick turn, kick turn, kick turn, kick turn, kick turn. His fucking wang is just dangling. And anybody who knows Bill knows historically long ball sack and nuts. So it's like, I mean, you can't even get it in screen. It's like two marbles in a wet sock.
Oh,
It's, and like, I was just like, is he gonna not? I started getting nervous around like the 10th one. I was like, oh, he's not even gonna do it. Like, he's just gonna stop. And dude, he fucking whips that thing round, lands it first try. I like was genuinely amazed. I mean, it's fucking gnarly to do a naked 540, especially outdoors on a vert ramp in the skate park in Tampa.
that's fucked.
And then I will say my favorite Weiss memory is, so we did King of the Road. We're going to talk about it. But like, no, like everyone was over him. He's ultra competitive. Bill is like, he will do whatever the fuck it takes to win. He doesn't care about whatever. He'll do whatever. So no one wanted to sit shotgun with him. So I fucking sat shotgun. I sat shotgun with that dude from LA to Portland, Portland to Cheyenne, Wyoming, Cheyenne, Wyoming to Milwaukee, Milwaukee to Minnesota, Minnesota to Denver, Denver to Vegas, Vegas to San Diego.
Wow.
And just hearing some of the shit that would come out of his mouth, it's like, oh my God. Some of it's hilarious and some of it's like, you're trying too hard, Weiss.
You mentioned it briefly, but can you tell us about Bill Weiss and the towel boy situation?
Okay, so it was Tampa Pro, I forget what year. 2013, 14, somewhere around there. It was like the height of Rob and Big. And Weiss and Deerdick are like boys. They've been boys for a long time. Like Bill was in San Diego, super good friends with them. So I think it was just like a drunken conversation they had. And he's like, I want you to do the 540 for the show, for Rob and Big. Like, he's like, we're coming out, we're doing this big thing. And Bill basically kind of like called him out. He's like, I'll do it for like 10 grand. And he's like, Rob's like, I'm not giving you 10 grand to do a 540. Come on, man. It's like, you're going to be on the show. It's going to be amazing, whatever. And then, so I think they just were going back and forth. And I think Rob settled on like, I'll get 5 grand cash and throw it out to the crowd if you make a 540 naked at Skate Park of Tampa. So
Damn.
Bill agrees. He's just like, whatever. I don't think Bill really thought it was going to be a thing. And then that weekend, Rob was like, I'm coming. I'm bringing the 5,001s. Like, we're doing this. Like, set up a time and everything. And I could see a switch on Bill's like demeanor. He was like so nervous. Because he doesn't like, he's always downplayed the naked 540, but he's done it like, I don't know, 8 times before. And so this one was going to be like on TV. And I think he was kind of backed into a corner where he's like, I have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then so he's like super nervous the day before. His wife is just like, you're an idiot. But like, she knew who she married. So she was like, all right, go do it. It's fine. And then the day of, like, he was like so nervous. And he was like, dude, you got to have a towel. You got to be on the flat bottom. Like, if I bail, like, you got to get the towel, like, right to me. Like, he was like super adamant about it. And I'm like, you're going to be naked skating like, what's the difference of you just like covering your nuts and just going to the side and walking back up the front? But he was like so adamant about it. So I'm like, literally, like, I don't know if there's footage of it anywhere, but I'm like there because I know how nervous he is. And he's like just pounding Coors Lights, like pounding, standing up there in a robe, fully naked. Like, and he was just like, even before, like, he really went for it, he like looked down at me. He was like, and Bill has OCD, like, to the umpteenth degree. So like he kept looking at me like, and I'm like, guy, like, I'm ready. Like, we're good. He's like, and so, yeah, that's how I became the towel boy that was never needed.
That's fucking epic, man.
And then after all that, he makes it. I'm sure he was juiced, but like, he didn't like jump up on the deck and grab his robe. He went like this with his nuts and wang flying in the air. He goes like this.
A little bit different if you make it though. He's got
And
the juice.
the craziest thing about and what was sick was like, so Rob's throwing out all the money, and Ronnie had told me before, he's like, if he makes it, dude, I'm scooping up as much money as possible. And I'm like, oh yeah. And like, I'm sitting there with the towel, like they made me like be right at like the middle of the flat bottom. So he starts throwing the money, dude. Me and Ronnie probably collected like $100-$150 each. Like,
not bad at all.
Just, yeah, it was a good day to be a town boy.
Yeah.
And the wildest part too was like, I was on the side where like basically like the skaters were. And then, you know, where like the courtyard is at Tampa. I was like looking across, crowded as fuck. Kids, parents, young kids.
Oh,
everyone was just like, yeah, do it. It was just like, God, like that's Tampa for you.
Yeah.
The thing that trips me out about that is like, there might be like a kid there who's like trying to get on blind, and he's like, Mom, like, I gotta make a tape to give to that guy, and it's just like balls are hanging, and you're just like, what the fuck is this skate industry shit, man?
She's like, you're done skating. You're going to play baseball.
That's a safer route.
Or any young am on the teams just like intimidated by Bill because he's the TM and he's intense, and then all of a sudden his balls are just in your face. Like must be a strange one.
It's pretty wild. But you have to know him.
You mentioned it a little bit before. King of the Road, Blind took home the title in 2007. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about that experience and maybe share a story or two from that time.
I got to say, one of the best trips I've ever been on. I mean, it was brutal, but like we were like the underdog of all underdogs. This was like there's no way we should have won that shit. But because Bill's like, he drove the whole time. Like, he would not let anybody else drive. Ronnie's giving him shit from the back of the van the whole time. Like I said, I'm sitting up front with them the whole time, literally like, hey, just, but it was definitely like an underdog thing. But I think with the team at the time, it was like, we kind of had everything.
Mm-hmm. Who was the team? What was the team you had?
So it was me, Danny Sarazzini.
Oh, shit, sick.
Mr. Smith.
Yep.
Mr. Morgan Smith.
Yeah.
Yep. Ronnie, and then Duncombe.
Oh, yeah, you had it.
And then, yeah, and myself. And at the time, you know, the team manager, you know, can get points. The filmer and photographers could get points. The photographer was David Broach, who we just was ruthless with. And then this was when King of the Road was like, dude,
massive.
Like we started in Portland, but like we all met at Dwindle and drove 15 hours up to Portland to start. So we like added. But dude, the amount of miles that we drove like Portland all the way to like Milwaukee and Minnesota, and then back to Denver and back to Vegas and San Diego, it was like 3,000 or 4,000 miles.
That's fucking
in like in 2.5 weeks. And we had to like stop and do the challenges, and it wasn't as like scripted as the newer ones. Mm-hmm. Like I went with it and Joy as a team manager in 2017. Winner, just for the record.
Was that the TV
2 for
one?
2.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the
one was like much shorter, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, way shorter.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't as much
because
of a grind.
Because they couldn't. Well, and the one we went on, it was like right when the second year was on Vice, and they went big, so they like surprised us and flew us to Hawaii for the last 3 days.
Fuck, that's
damn.
It was incredible. And this one, it was like, I was team manager at Dwindle, and they gave you a budget of like 25 grand. Like, hey, you can use this however you want. So Dwindle didn't really have to come out of pocket for it.
Damn.
And then they flew us to Hawaii for free. So that made it a lot easier. Back then, it was like Dwindle had to foot the bill. So it was like Tri-Fast hotels, bullshit food. Like it was just like it was like a regular tour. Like just go do it. But like the thing I remember the most was just Duncombe. Like he had pneumonia, walking pneumonia for like the first 3 days. Oh. And Jake's like, I mean, you have to skate with him in person to understand how fucking good this dude was at skateboarding. Like he could do anything. He could do anything. And so like just watching him get better and then like literally like destroy everything. And then the last night. So there was like, at that time they had these wild ass challenges. And it wasn't like all the sticky, like, you know, poo in someone's shoe or whatever. It was like gnarly shit. And the last trick that we ended up filming was the cab flip over the spine. Oh, yeah. So the spine had to be 4 feet or higher. So it was like the last night we got back to the LA area. We went to Volcom and Remy built like it's probably like a 5-foot spine ramp. Mm-hmm. And Duncombe is drinking, partying hard. But he skated for 4 hours straight trying this cab flip. Oh, it was like, I mean, Weiss is getting a fucking dick shaved into his head to win the worst haircut. Like, it's just, and most of all of us are dusted. And this dude was going crazy. And if you go and look for the clip, it's one of the best cab flips I've ever seen in my life. Like, he didn't like just dink it over the thing. He fucking blasted like 2 or 3 feet out of the spine ramp. And it was basically just 2 quarter pipes back to back.
That's so fucking
sick. I forgot about that.
But just Jake in general, like on that trip. And it's funny because when I went with Enjoy in 2017, like Jackson Pills did the same thing, where it was just like
took over.
It's pretty hard to describe how good these fucking dudes are, because Jackson is like, people know how good he is. He can skate anything, kickflip over a fence, like. But watching him skate a ledge, like he would just come back and be like, got it, front crook up to front to nose manual to front crook, got it, back tail, back 270 flip, got it. Like he was just rifling shit off every day. Mm-hmm. So shout out to the Australians.
Yeah.
Dude, 2 for 2. Sinclair hasn't won one. He's been on like
oh shit.
he's been on like 5 times. I've gone up against him.
Yeah. Dude.
I got the better of that one, Sinclair.
Proof's in the pudding, man.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, you heard the man. If it ever comes back, pressure's on. Going for that 3-piece Kobe style.
He can't go again. They can't give him another shot after that.
I mean, he's entertaining.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
So what if classic video, one of my favorite videos, shout out Grant, one of my favorite parts ever. But take us a bit behind the scenes on filming for that part and choosing that song, man, King of the County. Or I don't know what the song's called, but that's why we call you that.
So when Weiss took over, was probably 03 or 04. And like there was supposed to be a blind video before, like me, Gideon, Gershon, Ronnie, Corey Shepard, maybe I don't think Casper was on anymore, but there was like basically like before Bill took over as team manager, brand manager, we kind of had a video already set. And then when Bill came in, he made some pretty significant changes to the team. Gideon was gone. Him and Gershon really didn't get along. And it's like there's a lot of things changed. And he started to bring in other people. So like there is a video that exists that was like, it's like Gideon's old part. I think we're working on something to put out that part for Small Wheels, like do a little guest wheel.
Okay.
Like do a guest wheel and like drop a part and all that stuff. But it's like there is a part there. And then so like when Bill started changing everything over, there wasn't really a plan to do a video. And then when he got there, it was like, so we all had footage. Like most of us all had footage. And then Bill was like, hey, we're doing a video. It's coming out in 2005. And like for us, it's like, this is the second full length blind video ever. Tim and Henry's was a promotional video. But like we have to follow video days.
Oh yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it didn't sit with me well. Like the name and everything. I was just like, what if? Like, really? We're going from video days and Tim and Henry's Pack of Lies to what if? Like, what are we doing here? But it ended up working really well. Like, you know, Evan Shufflebine got on at the time, and that was kind of like a weird trade-off because he wanted Carlos Ruiz, Backlip El Toro kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, like, I was trying to get Evan on for the longest time, and I was like, dude, and then it was kind of like a little bit of a trade-off. Like, all right, because truth be told, none of us wanted Carlos on. Like, we knew he could, like, we knew he could do gnarly shit, but he wasn't really good at skateboarding. Like, he struggled at flat ground. Like, we went skating with him a couple times, and he was like,
yeah.
And like Bill would just take this kid to like the gnarliest shit. Half of his part is slams, and then the other half is like the gnarliest shit ever done.
Yeah,
like Backlip El Toro, switch 50 to fucking Heath Hubba. And I'm like,
yeah,
you're gonna kill this kid, man. But then Evan got on, and you know, it ended up working out super good. Like I think, you know, the team formed pretty well at that time. Like adding Markovich was random, but it was cool. It was like, it worked out good. But the song itself was like, so Merce was living in Orange County around that time. And I was a big fan of Living Legends, like underground hip hop, like Bay Area stuff, LA stuff. And me and a couple friends had gone to a show one time. And they were still pretty small. Like they're just selling out little bars and clubs and stuff like that. So go to the merch table, buying some merch. Like, man, if you guys ever want like some free skate stuff, like come to Liberty Board Shop. Like I'll hook you up. And this is when I'm writing for like Circa, and like I got all the outs. Like I could give them whatever they want. So they all randomly came to Liberty one day, and I blessed all these dudes down with like couple outfits, some shoes. Sick. Like I was just like, because I was like a fan of all of them. It's like probably 7 or 8 dudes there. It's like Grouch, Eli, Merce, Lucky I Am, Scarab, like all of these dudes who were in Living Legends. And Merce just kind of kept in touch. And then he moved to Orange County, I think, for a girl, and we became pretty close. And then my roommate at the time, who was manager of Liberty, Justin Martin, he had this little kind of like little crew. It was called Patchworks. And he made hip hop beats and stuff like that, because he was like the one who introduced me to those dudes. And so we all became really good friends. Merce has like a small tie to skating. Like he skated as a kid and whatever. And then around 2005, like we're pretty tight. He's living in Orange County. And I had asked him, I was like, hey, dude, can I use one of your songs like for my part? And he's like, yeah, it's fine. And then we're going back and forth. We're like getting pretty like close to the editing process. And then at some point, my friend Justin was like, I think Merce wants to do a song for your part. And I'm like, down, super down. And so he collaborated with my friend Justin and was basically told me like, because I was going to use something else because it was so close to the editing process to the end of it. And he was like, if you don't let me do your song, I'm gonna beat your ass. And I'm like, go ahead. I was like, go ahead, just do it. I have to have it done. So him and Justin got together, did that, and I didn't hear it until the premiere. So it was just one of those things and when I heard it, it was kind of like, I know it's fucking cringe, dude. It's like,
it's fucking epic now.
I mean, in hindsight, to me, like I'm a fan. Like I was always a fan of Merce, but like I get it from the outside looking in. Like you got a personalized rap song for your fucking part.
Oh yeah,
really?
Yo, I don't know.
Like,
That shit
but-
was iconic to me. I feel like it grows on you after a couple watches. Once you're like, oh shit, okay,
Yeah.
it's kind of weird, but then you're like, oh, King of the County, Craig.
I mean, and some of the references are just like from us hanging out so much. And I was like, dude, go buck wild, say what, like, I don't give a shit. But it ended up working out super good. It's funny because like that song does not exist other than on that video.
That's
So like you can like
dope.
find it on YouTube, but it's like has the skate sound in the background.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's just that.
That's sick.
Like it's never been released. It was strictly just for my part. So, but Merce is the homie. Like, see you in the finals. He's a Knicks fan. I'm a Lakers fan.
Yeah, right. What kind of delusional finals is that?
You were roomies with Gershon for a little bit. Any stories about that legend you want to share with us?
Gershon, man, wild dude. Different cat for sure. Small and interesting fact. Gershon and Ronnie Krieger born on the exact same day.
That is crazy. Like same year too?
Yep.
Holy fuck.
January 14th, 1974.
Damn.
Wow.
So you can guess how old both of them are. Those motherfuckers are 50 and they still rip.
That's crazy.
But yeah, Gershon was wild, man. He was just like Gershon's like very smart, but he grew up in the hood. And then when I was living with him, it was like he was riding for Globe and Blind, and like, dude, the dude was making an astronomical amount of money.
That's sick.
And I would randomly see some of his Globe checks. He would just be leaving around like 30 grand.
Whew.
Like it's just like on his turntables, and that's for That's for 1 month of royalties.
Holy
And he would have like a couple chilling. But, man, so we skated a lot. That's why the thing I liked when I lived with him is like, dude, he's a machine. Like he would just go out and like the dude would casually like just drink vodka and eat mushrooms and smoke a bunch of weed and rip just as hard as any other day. Like it was wild to watch. Like I smoked a lot of weed at the time, but like that was like I wasn't drinking before I was going skating at the time. But like he was just like he could just do whatever and like would not skip a beat. Like would kind of party all day. We'd go to Vans at night and he would murder the fucking mini ramp. Like insane shit. But I do remember there was a specific story that like, so he used to eat quite a bit of mushrooms and I wasn't really like super into him, but, there was like about a week and a half where we did mushrooms all day, every day for a week and a half straight. So it was like, it was quite interesting. And then like, I remember like towards the end, like it wasn't like fun anymore. Cause like the first few days giggling, haha, whatever, we're going skating. Like we're being productive, but like it was just a wild time and he didn't change at all. And then towards the end of it, I was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. Like I got to stop. But like, it's always something that sticks out to me. Like, yeah, we had a full bender for like a week and a half.
mushroom bender. Never heard of one of those. I like it.
Professional skateboarding gives you a lot of free time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to go behind the scenes on a couple of our favorite clips. Let's take this one back to Canada. Switch hard flip off the roof gap.
Oh yeah, Vancouver, eh?
Yeah. How was that session?
I forget what we were out there for. Maybe like a demo tour or something. But Weiss would always try to take us to like the gnarliest shit. And I was like, it was always the hard thing filming with Bill because like he just wants the hammers. And like I have it in my bag, but that's not my primary like, go-to things. So I think somebody else wanted to skate it. And I always kind of feel bad. Like I'll skate whatever. And like, if someone's just trying to get something, then I'll go skate it with him. Jody Morris was out shooting photos. And then I just went to Old Reliable, like down gaps. Like, I mean, it was my first ad was switch hardflip down to 10. Well, my first blind ad. And that was just a trick I could kind of huck. That was like that and tray flip would be like the ones where I was like, okay, if I have to do something big, like this is probably the trick I'm going to do. And we just went there. And I just remember it's like, it's pretty skinny. It's not that bad, but it's like not long. It's just a drop.
Huge.
So I was going so slow for the most part. So I was like, you land, you basically go on the grass. Like I don't have to go that fast. But then it was like taking me longer because I was just like splatting down on the ground. So then a couple of tries where I went a little faster. I was like, oh, it feels way, way better. Like if I'm like going a little bit faster. But yeah, that was just a random one. I mean, that gap was like, if you shot it from long, you'd be like, why does anyone skate this? This looks so dumb.
It looks
like
so
fisheye
sick,
at the time. Like, it's just weird that there's like that little
overhang,
pathway, for no reason. Because it was like over grass. It's not like there was like where kids walked. There was no like asphalt there. It was just like a random overhang.
And then another trick here: frontside 360 heel flip.
The battle of all battles. The battle from Middle Earth was what that was.
Yes.
It probably took as long as all of the Lord of the Rings combined. It was seriously
my baby.
Yes, it was like it was one of those things that like I think I had seen PJ do one before. I'm not sure where I first saw it, but that's like a gap that we had skated. It's at the school Esperanza. It's kind of hard to skate because it's like a patch, grass here, and then you have to like run and then curve in and then go towards the street. So you like curve in and then try to go back out. And, I had done a couple things on it, just tried stuff, mainly for like local videos, like for my homie Aaron Brown. And then I think I tried to front heel it one time. And I spun it like more because I was like going to kick out. And then like I ended up spinning it a little bit more than 270. And I was like, can I do front 3 heel over this? And then I tried it and I was like, I can do this. I mean, every time we would go would be like between 2 to 4 hours, maybe 2 to 5 hours.
Damn.
We probably went like 12 times, 13 times. It got to the point where it was like I wouldn't like go there to do it. If everyone was done for the day, I'd just look at Aaron and be like, 360 heel flip at Esperanza. And be like, all right. It was just like one of those things where it's like,
give it a shot.
Okay. Like no one else is doing anything. So let's give it a shot. And it was just one of those things where it's like, and of course I'm wearing like a Lakers like warm up jersey. Because it was just like one of those random days, like, what are you wearing a fucking Lakers warm-up jersey for? And of course, that's the day I made it. But like, that was another one of those like kind of blackout moments. Like, I was so shocked when I rode away from it. It was like, I think I like put my hands up. And it's like, it's probably the only time I've ever done that shit in my life.
Out of
like,
body experience.
I'm a firm believer of like, act like you've been there, right? And that one, it was just like such a relief. I couldn't believe it. And I knew I felt like I might have hit my toe and I like kind of bend over and I like looked at the footage and I was like, I know I can do it better, but like, that's all I got. And it was like after probably 2 or 3 hours again. So I probably tried that shit like 4,000 or 5,000 times.
Dude, Safa made me watch all of the Lord of the Rings consecutively. So I know. That was a battle staying awake. So I can't imagine trying a trick for that long.
It's funny. We moved in here. We cut the cable cord. Mm-hmm. We don't have it. We don't have cable, like regular cable TV. I've had it my whole life. Like I'm used to like that being in the background. But we have all the apps and stuff. And so I've recently watched every one of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit over the last like couple of months. Yeah.
Dude, it's such a fun rewatch.
Now it's epic. And now I'm doing the full rewatch of The Mandalorian. So
Damn.
we got
yeah.
good shit coming.
Did you watch all of Rings of Power?
I did. Dude, that show was amazing. That show was amazing.
Yeah, most expensive show ever made.
I think I need. Yeah, I think I need to rewatch.
You say most expensive show ever made? Damn.
At the time, I don't know if I doubt a show's topped it since.
Yeah.
It's like close to $1 billion, right? It's like 750 million or something.
Bro, it's so good though. I already rewatched it, and like it might have been better the second time. I just fell in love with Galadriel even more.
Galadriel. Yeah, it's funny as my mom was like super. My mom was like super into the books, and so like we had a cat, Galadriel, Bilbo. Like I didn't know what it was, but like we had mad cats when I was a kid, and they were all like from The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
That's sick.
That's amazing.
Hey, this nerd life ain't for everybody, Safa.
Hey, trust me. Low key nerds / jocks / skaters. It's a weird combo.
We fit it. We fit in everywhere, bro.
Straight up. Your 411 checkup process on the knee injury after surgery, right after turning pro, was insane. Take us back to that and how was going through all that, man.
So yeah, that was Colin Kennedy, who's just a master at his craft. Like the dude it's funny because it was like probably one of the more like depressing
checkups,
like segment. Well, and just segments,
but it was
in general,
so good,
like that they did.
Yeah, like you said, it was unreal.
No, he did it. He did a great job, but it's funny because this was like, it was almost like it was like reality TV because it was like giving some insight into like behind the skateboarding, but like Colin's just like really smart. And we filmed together for so long, and then so like I had skated with a torn ACL for like a year. And I didn't know because I didn't go to the doctor, just an idiot, you know? And then so like I kept dislocating my knee and it finally got to the point where I was like, all right, like I have to go get this fixed. I didn't know what it was. I went to this pretty well-renowned surgeon. His name is Warren Kramer. He'd done like stuff on like Kelly Slater and like snowboarders and like, so like, I go in there, the dude just like pulls my leg and he's like, your ACL is torn. You could do an MRI. It costs you extra $1,500, but I don't know what else is wrong in there. Cause I told him like everything that had happened. And he was like, you have a torn ACL for sure. And we can go and figure it out after, or you can get the MRI and then we can look at it and go clean it up. And I was like, well, I kind of trust this dude. He seems like he knows what he's doing. So I was like, fuck it, let's just do the surgery. No MRI, no nothing. Just the dude pulled on my knee, was like, your ACL is torn. So before it was going to happen, before I actually got hurt, me and Colin were trying to like, I forget what we were trying to film for something. And then I went and got that checkup. And then we ended up, I like told him about it. He was like, dude, can I like come and film you going into surgery? And like I was like, sure. So like Colin was there when they like put me under, like the whole deal. Like you could see it in the clip where it's like the anesthesiologist, which costs like $900, just so you know, just for them to put you to sleep. This is $900 in 2001. So, but like he like didn't get so he puts the thing in. And then the tube falls out, and I just start bleeding all over the floor. And like Colin, like he captured everything. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. But like, it was really the only major surgery I've ever had was that one. Like, I remember waking up from it and was just so like tattered. But like, that whole process was somewhat therapeutic in the fact that like me and Colin had to kind of keep doing like the checkups and stuff like that. And he would like come to a physical therapist and we, you know, filmed me doing all my stretches and toe raises, riding the bike and talking about it. But like that whole process, I mean, I think it probably was over 3 or 4 months. And then I tried to get some tricks for it, but like mentally, like I was pretty fucked for like 2.5 years. Like didn't really feel comfortable on my skateboard again until 2003, 2004. And then like by the time 2006, like after What If, like right after What If, because I was like not very happy with What If. There's like stuff there where I could tell it was still, I was afraid of hurting myself as opposed to just like pushing. And then from like 2006 to 2009 was like probably, or 2008 when I broke my arm was probably the best I felt on my skateboard. But that whole process of the knee surgery and stuff like that, it was all mental too. It was not a physical thing. My knee was fine. It was just my brain could not, like, I didn't want to hurt myself. I didn't want to blow my knee out or do anything like that. So I was just like, and I stopped skating gaps. I started popping, trying to like go up stuff instead of down stuff. It changed a lot of like the way I skated, but I think for the better. But eventually I kind of got back there.
For sure.
Hell yeah.
Morgan told us you used to set up a new board almost every day and new shoes every 3 to 4 days. What's the deal with that, man? Going through product at an alarming rate. Probably a sponsor's worst nightmare, man.
He's not lying. No, it was probably like, it's because I skated a lot. Like me and Aaron and all the boys would go out, between 4 to 6 hours a day. Damn. And to be honest with you, I would just beat the shit out of boards. Like the front 3 heel, I probably 30, 40 boards, maybe. I don't know. Break boards, chip them. And then at the time, it was like I could get whatever the hell I wanted. And then, so for me, like I always like to have like a new board when you have like access to as many as you want. Like it feels so good. And then if I already have wheels, Crispy said, it's like you look good, you feel good, you skate good. You look down, it's all fresh and crispy. Like, damn.
Oh, yeah.
And I never do new shoes, old board. So if I was going to set up new shoes, I'm setting up a new board no matter what. Like, it's just a fact. I don't care if I've only skated it for a day. Like, giving them to the homies, like, whatever. Like, but yeah, there was a point where I went through a lot of product. And to be honest with you, it was like when Dwindle changed from Prime, the original, like the OG woodshop that was in Torrance, to DSM, like the first probably year or year and a half, like I told Rodney, I was like, man, I don't know what you guys are doing, but these boards are terrible. Like they're bad. Like they're chipping, breaking, de-lambing. And it was whatever they were trying to switch over the process to. And then Rodney was like, no. He finally acknowledged it at one point, but it was because the factory was so new and they were trying to like speed up the process. And I think it was like they were trying to heat dry them instead of like letting them cure because they were using like the resin glues and stuff like that. And then eventually it was like, people would say I used to be like a company man, but like, dude, the Dwindle boards, like from the time it actually changed and like they started doing the resin sevens and some of the other stuff, were probably some of the best boards I've ever skated. Like legit, like keep the pop, like they're as proper as they come. And as far as technology, people think it's a gimmick, but like the Dwindle double impact shit was like the best boards I've ever skated. But yeah, I used to set up a lot. It was excessive.
Was the double impact the one that was like just stronger? Like it wouldn't break?
So it's like it's full carbon fiber top sheet and then the 2 discs on the bottom. Yeah. And dude, it's like
those are the ones that Duncan lived by, right?
Yes. I sent the Dunk many of those. Trust me.
Morgan
would be like, hey, bot.
Skate anything else.
Hey, but the Dunk wants the fucking double impact with the rings. And I'm like, all right, I got you.
Yeah.
So sick. Epic. So, fuck, man, you're a skater through and through, had a long, successful career as a skater, but decided to stay in the industry. What was that transition like going from in front of the camera to doing your thing, kind of jack of all trades on the other side?
It was pretty easy, to be honest with you. It was like, I think Rodney was like my best inspiration for that. Cause like I looked at him and it's like, this is Rodney Mullen. This dude invented half of the shit that everyone's doing, most of the shit that everyone's doing. And he was like my first team manager. And he's like the smartest dude. Like he shouldn't be that guy. And I've always like, I mean, I obviously love skateboarding and I love the community and I've always got along well with my teammates and the people who I've been around. So in 2008, I broke shattered my humerus. And it was like a year before the Blind video came out. It's called the Blind video, which was, I think, like one of my best parts. But I just got to the point, like at that age, I think I was 2008, late 20s. I was just like, man, I got to figure out what's next. Because like when I was coming up, like in 91, Matt Hensley was probably 24 and he was like one of the best skateboarders ever. And he has like a retirement video in the beginning of the Plan B video. So it's like, I'm used to being like, you're getting towards the end, and as I got older, I think the age kind of raised a little bit, but I just got to the point where I was like, man, like, and I did really see myself as someone who could be a team manager. I got along with people really well. I knew all about the skating and like what you need to do versus what you shouldn't do. And a lot of the things I fucked up with, like without paying taxes and like not going to the doctor when you're hurt and all that stuff. It's like the wisdom that I tortured myself with, I think could translate well to like helping kids and skaters. So it was a pretty seamless transition. And, I was working at Liberty after I broke my arm and then I believe Paul Sharp left Dwindle to do Etnies. And then that position came open and Bob just called me and he was like, hey, is this something you'd want to do? And I was like, yeah, super down. And the way I looked at it is like, I get to do all of the fun stuff as a professional skateboarder. I just don't have to do the tricks. I just got to drive the van.
Yeah.
I gotta deal with all the bullshit. I gotta find these dudes weed and like whatever. But like, that's fine.
That's all right.
Yeah. So it was good. And then like I also kind of utilized it. Like people would come stay at my house, like Morgan or somebody like that. Like people who I believed in and I wanted to help. So like I could give a little personal attention to somebody if like they stayed at my house and like I could like help nurture them and help them if I possibly could. And it's like him and Eunice and Yuri and Tyson Bowerbank and there was like a handful of people that I let into my little security zone that I think that it was beneficial for everybody.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, man. I pass on that knowledge. That's awesome.
For sure.
So what's next for James Craig?
What is next? Man, but really big on my lawn right now, to be honest with you. Becoming a homeowner is like so weird because you get so old so fast where I'm like the mailman walks through my front yard and I'm like, yo, dude, like we just planted that shit. Like, it's so dumb, but like, I'll like sit out there and like drinking my coffee and like I see the sun hitting it after it's like rain and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a good day. We're gonna get some rain. We're gonna get some growth out of this one. Like big lawn guy. I was like, we have like these rose bushes in my backyard, and I was like, yesterday I was like out there clipping them, cleaning. Like it's just, I don't know, man, just house stuff. But no, we're working on some small wheels stuff. It's been rough in the hard good game as of late, but we're not big enough to have like really failed. We were able to like take the impact of like what had happened recently in the industry with the slowdown. And so we got some good stuff coming up with small. We're working on hopefully some stuff with that dude Akwasi, who writes for Sci-Fi. And we really want to do something around him. We went out. We're going to work on like a little team montage. We got some new wheels coming out. We have a prototype for Mike Arnold of a wheel that's like, you know how the Dragons like kind of changed the game? Do you guys know about that?
No.
The Powell Dragons. It's nerdy shit. But so whatever. Like they came out with these wheels that are like they're like kind of soft, but they like slide and whatever. The wheel nerds went crazy for them, and they sold a shitload of them. But that dude Mike Arnold is like super, like just super critical of things, and he won a specific wheel, and we made it, and he loves it, and I can't really say what it is because it could be like super good, but it's
top secret.
It'll be sick if it works out, because the dude like Mike, if like he's into it and he really pushes it, and it can be like, it's like from like a theory perspective, it's actually makes sense that this would be something that people would like really gravitate towards, but we'll see. So we got the small stuff. We're working on all that, and then just doing the agent life as well. Helping out like Kwasi and Frankie Villani and all my clients and stuff like that, and just trying to still be a part of skateboarding, but without a budget.
That's fire.
Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, we'll see when that wheel comes out. You got us curious. Might need a box, but we'll see if you're turned into Bill Weiss and you're just trying to turn a turd into a piece of gold. But I believe in you. So I used to ride for small here and there.
No, I think
got love.
No, I think this one, it makes sense. Like as far as gimmicks would go, this one makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Mike Arnold got some influence too, man. So,
oh hell yeah,
he can make it work.
I'll just say this: there is a dual durometer that is involved in
it. That doesn't
tech.
Mean anything to me, but
Tech.
You're sounding more and more like Bill in the meeting right now. Only time will
you
tell.
guys? Yeah, it's probably before your time, but Darkstar had the dual durometers before with like the hardcore and then like a little normal wheels on the outside.
Yeah,
like
that doesn't mean anything to me, but that's terrible. Say
y'all breath smell like Similac. Just little babies out here don't know the goddamn thing.
Yeah,
you guys run a podcast. You guys run a podcast.
We are very much ingrained in our era, so
I feel that.
Once you spoke about the Powell Peralta Dragons, I feel like both of us just started thinking about our fantasy basketball teams for the next
but those are
seconds.
new. Those are new. It's not like I'm talking about Rat Bones. Rat Bones was in the 80s. Dragons were like a year or two ago.
All right, I can't believe you dropped the
Stephen
Stephen A. I can't believe you just dropped the Stephen A. shirt on us. Similac.
I'm sorry. The man cannot play basketball. He has small hands. He's a bona fide scrub.
I can feel the heat from here.
Let's fucking do it. King of the county. A little rapid fire. You ready?
Let's go.
Favorite skater?
Guy Mariano. I'll give a couple others. Ashad, Javier Sarmiento, Tiago Lemos, Rick Howard, Mike Carroll. But Guy is the GOAT. Oh, Grant Taylor. We'll just throw Grant in there.
Okay, we got to pick up the pace. Favorite video?
Video days or Golden Fish? Video days. We'll go video days.
Favorite video part?
Guy Morano Mouse.
Favorite style?
This one though is a tough one. I gotta go Rick Howard.
Hell yeah. Which skater had the biggest influence on the way you skate?
Pete Peter Ortiz or Gideon Choi?
Most talented skater on planet Earth.
Jackson Pills.
Favorite trick.
Backsmith. Obviously tray flip is like the go-to, but for me, backsmith.
Hell yeah. Hardest trick for you.
Switch. No, frontside flip, frontside kick flips. It's the hardest.
Most illegal trick.
Double dolphin.
Hella specific. Favorite clip you've ever gotten.
A line at Jason Hernandez's original first DIY spot, backside flip, something, and then first time I ever did like switch heel, switch backsmith. Terry Kennedy was in the background. It was like it was in the blind video, but like it came super easy. It was just one of those things that like, and when I look back at it, I was like, it's like a dream trick to me where I was like, I never thought I would actually do it, but that one.
That's a good one. Hell yeah. Carlos Ribeiro, shout out. Worst trend you've been a part of?
All of them? No. I didn't go tight pants, so I'm good with that. But like, to be honest with you, like the shit we wore in the early 90s is so ridiculous and it's coming back. So like watching it come back reminds me like how bad it was when I had like size 40 fucked shorts that went down to, they basically look like high waters, and I had some like yellow NTS2 Airwalks and like a green shirt. Our style in the early 90s was highly illegal, and it's becoming a thing again.
Gnarliest trick you've ever witnessed?
A lot. I got two. Gideon Choi, accidental switch hard flip. Fakey front crook on a ledge. He was trying to switch hard flip back tail. Locked into fakey front crook. Had definitely never been done before. He did it amazing. And then I got to go Jackson as well. He feebled this like 27 stair rail on King of the Road. And so like the Creature team had gone there before because it's like skate a rail over 20 or whatever. And there was a lock on it that was like Rhino's thing. And Jackson was like, we were like in the middle of the night. We cut the fucking lock off and he feebled this shit. And it's like, dude, by the time he got to the bottom, he must have been going like 30 miles an hour. And the only reason he did it was he was like, fuck these dudes. Like, we knew they probably 50 it or like did a trick. And he was like, fuck these dudes. Like, I'm going to feeble this shit.
Hell yeah. What's the one trick that got away?
Kickflip back nose on a table. Sick. That was the one. I mean, I got hard flip back 5-0, but like kickflip back nose on a table was something I wanted. I also wanted to go to Clipper and do that before it was done, but like I never skated it. But it was in my mind. It was like I wanted to go do that there. Gallant did it, so it's
fine. Damn. What's the last new trick you learned?
Slabby front crook to fakey nose grind back to straight.
Hell yeah. What's your dream job after skating?
Dream job after skateboarding. Kind of have it. Helping skateboarders. I would say like golf pro.
Oh shit. That's nice. Favorite local brand?
Favorite local brand other than Small Wheels? I'll say I'll just give it to Welcome. That's local.
Hell yeah. What's the one sponsor you regret riding for?
This is a funny one. I don't really regret it, but it was just a necessity at the time. But Power Shoes, baby.
Oh shit!
Shout
out OPEC.
I don't regret it, but it was definitely I wouldn't have chose that for sure.
Right.
I can go get my sample pro model that never came out.
Oh, that's fire.
It's funny because we like just moved in a couple months ago, so like I have all that shit. Like,
yeah, got to go through all the memories.
And
Favorite teammate ever?
Favorite teammate. It's tough to pick one. This is like kids. It'd be like a favorite person that stayed at my house, but I will say this person. It's Gideon Choi. One B is Corey Shepard.
Hell yeah.
Legend.
Crazy bastard.
I love Corey. He's like, I mean, it's the shit we've got to do together is fucking amazing. It's probably the only person I've ever like had a physical altercation with, but like I broke his finger in a fucking digital video because we were like wrestling in a room and I broke his finger. And then like the next day he was like, "Oh, sorry, man. I didn't mean to be a dick." And we'd have like we've had games of skate for fucking 2 hours. The dude comes over to my house, blackout drunk, a complete idiot. Just I want to kill him. And then the next day, like we have like the best session.
Hell yeah.
Corey for the upset for the hijinks and the ride.
Worst teammate ever.
Worst teammate. Dane Brummett.
Oh,
Solid.
shit.
Solid call out. Power shoes. I'm like in a rough spot in my career. I get on power. We go on a tour with Josh Even, like a bunch of like rest in peace. But like Dane got like mad at me that I was trying so hard. And I was like, the fuck? Like, that's what we're supposed to do. Like, you go to a demo, you try to fucking kill it. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? And he was like, dude, you gotta chill out, man. Like, I was like in my 30s at the time. Like, what are you talking about, dude?
Jesus. Fuck.
Dane Brummett.
He had horrible style, if I remember correctly, right?
And he was bald at like probably 22. I was bald at like 35.
Shots.
I'm not afraid to take a shot. I don't give a fuck.
Perfect timing for that. Worst company.
Whoever did the skate stopper shit. Whatever skater did that.
Damn. Cold bastard.
Yeah.
Ruthless.
Fuck him.
Worst trend.
This is going to be unpopular currently. The hot topic trend that's going on right now with the flame hats and the flame beanies and that fucking bullshit is just, to me, it's fucking, I can't believe it. It's stupid.
Worst style.
I'm not far out of the realm because I've been named on Slap. My crew has given me that moniker, but
Your own friends have said that about you?
they're not friends, but like just anonymous people. I was named in it, which I kind of like. Makes me feel special. Or style. I like authentic styles, so it's a weird. I can't think of one right now. Omar Hassan.
No.
Oh, shit. I was not expecting that one. What's his rap name again?
I don't know, but he can
Scalp.
freestyle.
What, scalped?
Omar.
What are we doing here?
Last but not least, bruv. Last person you want on the sesh.
Last person you want on the sesh. Evan Shufflebine hit me up about this. He's like, what's it gonna be? And there's like a couple people that I know that probably won't hear this, but I won't put them on there. But I'm gonna say like it's a weird way of putting it, but like the people I respect the most, because like I know it's not gonna be good for me. So it's like my idols, I would say, last person to wear on the sesh. So I don't want that pressure.
Interesting.
I feel you.
Interesting. I
We were
thought
expecting
taking
more of a
shots,
shot.
big dog.
Yeah.
I mean, I can give you a shot.
Yeah, a little
if
bit
you
let
want.
down by that one. Come on, we need something better.
You want a shot?
Yeah. Evan wants a shot too. Do it for Scheifelbein, man.
All right. Bill Strobeck.
That's better.
Oh shit!
Now we're talking. Well,
I love Bill, but yeah, I'll just go with that. It's fine.
is there more, or are we done?
I mean, it's just get the camera off of his face. Just film the fucking spot. Film the trick. Like, I need to see more. I don't need to be that close to someone. Great, and he's a great filmer. Like, his Quicksilver shit is incredible. And then as things have gone, it's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to be around that personally. And has gone way too far. I don't need to see in someone's nostril. Like, just back it up a little bit.
King of the county, Craig, man, can't thank you enough for coming on the show and stepping inside Studio E. Thanks again, man.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate you guys.